You never cease to amaze me. You've driven Mr. Rapha right to the edge, and now he's ordered me to deliver next week's negotiation schedule to you as soon as possible.
At most, I'm merely a megaphone. I make it impossible for him to feign ignorance. Cornering Rapha is the Kylian people's shared desire.
In our previous meetings, I repeatedly asked Rapha to restore my contact with Hykros, but he always came up with an excuse to deny the request. This negotiation is just him finally running out of excuses. The process is bound to be full of friction, and it's likely we won't even reach a final agreement.
Yeah, he's been dragging his feet, but what's he really after?
This.
We have been in space for 50 years, and every Kylian longs for a home rich with greenery and life. Anchor Infinity has never forgotten the future we promised. Today, I can finally announce that the new human settlement, Planet Noah, will be ready in 3 months. Generation Kylo Immigration Project, new Project ARC, officially launches today. Any Kylian is eligible to start their immigration applications via Anchor Infinity's credit system. Planet Noah will be governed by the artificial intelligence Lana, and a new generation of humanoid droids. No one will need to bear the heavy burden of production, and the Kylians will achieve true liberation. On Planet Noah, you can let Lana handle everything and enjoy complete freedom. The first batch of immigration quotas.
Has Lana's upgrade finished?
Not yet. According to the intel, Lana's upgrade is also part of the Planet Noah transformation project. The recent computing power shortfall was probably diverted to push Planet Noah toward completion. About that fancy dimensional quantum supercomputer idea you brought up, I think it's the wrong direction. If the target of the transformation is Planet Noah, a lack of computing power isn't surprising.
So it takes until today for you to mention that the habitat in the new Project ARC is Planet Noah. You hid key intel from me.
You've got it wrong. I've heard of Planet Noah's transformation plan, but there's no proof that the habitat in the new Project ARC is Planet Noah. No sane Kylians would think Planet Noah is the next big habitat. When I first heard about it, I thought it was just the wild ideas of Anchor Infinity's incompetent executives. Before I saw today's press release, I never considered there might be a connection between the transformation of Planet Noah and the new Project ARC. I'd always assumed they were totally separate, hush-hush projects.
All right. If it were me, I also wouldn't be able to link the two directly. But first, did Anchor Infinity really succeed in transforming Planet Noah?
I can't say either way. There are no humans on that planet, only a ton of droids Lana sent there. So I have no way to obtain any solid intel. Lately, all the rumors are coming from a few companies involved in manufacturing droids and spaceships. According to Helix Bio Inc., the droids haven't only transformed the harsh environment of Planet Noah, they've also collected a vast number of samples from the native species of this region of space.
Hold up. Before you dive deeper into the discussion, could you bring me up to speed on Planet Noah?
Slow down a bit while visiting the Kylo Expo Hall. Even though Anchor Infinity embellished a bunch of stuff, it's still quite useful. Planet Noah is the largest planet nearest to us. Back then, the space station was sucked in by its gravitational field after the Omnium explosion, sending the station crashing into countless asteroids. Post-event analysis shows the explosion's energy only acted like a slingshot, launching the space station to this location. In fact, over 80% of the damage was caused by secondary impacts with the asteroid belt. The Kylians initially intended to move to Planet Noah, but they discovered that the area was not only rife with space-time turbulence, but also an astral hive stronghold. With no other choice, they had to modify the space station.
So the Kylians have been transforming Planet Noah for 50 years?
If only we needed time, things would be easy. Space-time turbulence and astral hive have always been the toughest nuts to crack for Kylo's scientific community. Any research outcomes in these two fields almost always come with a deadly price.
But I still can't figure out what exactly makes transforming Planet Noah so difficult.
Space-time turbulence has always been Kylo's biggest headache when it comes to space exploration. But for the Astral Hive, the turbulence is like a nesting tunnel, a natural habitat. Planet Noah is swamped with space-time turbulence and home to the Astral Hive. Given the Kylians' current understanding of space-time turbulence, trying to mess with it would be a death wish. To prevent the Astral Hive there from using the turbulence to launch sneak attacks on human settlements, Kylo burned through vast amounts of Zeronium and other resources to wreck that barrier visible to the naked eye.
So you suspect the new Project Ark didn't really transform Planet Noah?
Bottom line, transforming Planet Noah and carrying out a mass migration are impossible. Rapha is essentially leading all the Kylians straight to their doom.
Let's not overthink it. His public immigration plan might just be a tactic to manage the public opinion against me. Once he deals with me, this plan could very well be cancelled.
I thought so too, but I did some digging on the side. Even Anchor Infinity's top executives firmly believe this immigration plan is legit. In fact, many high-ranking officials are plotting ways to tamper with the immigration application function of the credit system so that they and their families get first dibs on moving.
Something's definitely fishy. Why not check in with our most enigmatic prisoner?
Is it him? If we want to get to him, we'll have to bring him to the brain interface.
Maybe they teamed up to save him back then for this exact moment.
Who do you mean?
He's the old man who lives alone in a small room and has forgotten who he is. His real name is Krog Hans. He's Lola Han's adoptive father.
He's still alive?
The records state that he is indeed dead, but the body belonged to another inmate. This ruse was orchestrated by General Andrea and Asarada.
Andrea?
He's my father, and the former fleet commander. Anchor Infinity took advantage of his retirement to seize control of Brighton Prison. That's why he made me swear to protect Krog Hans at all costs. I took back control of Brighton Prison partly for Krog Hans. My father said that if I want to take down Anchor Infinity, I'll need to use his influence.
Even if the real Krog Hans is still alive, does he have a clue about the new Project Ark? And I saw him in prison. He wasn't exactly lucid.
So, if we want to squeeze anything out of him, we'll have to risk connecting him to the brain interface.
With Lana's surveillance in place, we'll need your help to pull this off.
Krog Hans, if I remember correctly, he was No. He was the first leader of the Icarus Legion. If he's really alive, that'd be a major deal for the Kylians, wouldn't it?
Well, at least for Carrot, this won't be a trivial matter.
I'm coming with you. I need to verify his identity and do everything I can to keep him safe.
I'll give you the prison guard's pass. You and Nanto will interrogate him. It has to be under the radar. The prison is Lana's territory. And you know what to do.
For his safety, I've already administered Neurocom. You can start now.
What should we do?
How would I know? How did you fool Lana's medical monitoring system to bust out of prison?
I'm curious. How do you use the brain interface to interrogate criminals?
All we need to do is tell Lana what information we need. She'll find a way. But obviously we can't rely on her right now. Which is where you come in.
All right. Could you please step aside for a moment?
Looks like some kind of tech secret from Hykros. All right, I'm going to rest next door for a bit. Come find me when you've got results.
He's in bad shape. Even inside the brain interface, there isn't a way?
It'll be difficult if you try talking to him directly, but I can sort through his remaining memory. Maybe we'll find something.
Can we confirm his identity first?
He's really Krog Hans. I saw the founding members of the Icarus Legion and a teenage Lola Hans. He also saw Veronika as a child, Aglaia all grown up, and an elderly Asurada. And little Nanto, face covered in ice cream.
Stay focused. Let's be on the lookout for memories related to Planet Noah and the new Project Ark.
Age has caused his brain and its functions to deteriorate. With his years of brain interface torture, his accessible memories are in complete chaos. The human brain isn't a search engine. You can't just input keywords and expect to immediately find answers.
What can I do to help?
Ask him about something pleasant. He'll calm down, and then you can gradually bring up more important questions. That makes it easier for me to discern.
All right, I'll give it a try. Hello, Mr. Kroghans. I'm a friend of Lola's. Do you remember her?
Lola? Where did you run off to, sweetheart? Luigi's whisked you away on another of his chaotic escapades, hasn't he?
Very interesting.
Wait. I'll have to whip him into shape. I warned you about this. He can't keep dragging you into his messes.
There was a huge bug.
Bugs! Bugs! Queen Zeno is swarming the port side, and the damn particle cannon's empty. We need to prepare the escape pods. You go first.
It's okay, Dad. It's me, Lola. Uncle Luigi drove off Queen Zeno, I promise.
Luigi's funeral is tomorrow at 3.
Uncle Luigi told me about Planet Noah before he passed on. He said there are a lot of bugs there.
Don't be scared, Lola, sweetheart. It's all right. Those disgusting astral hive creatures won't infest Planet Noah forever. Humanity will prevail. Sooner or later.
How? There are far too many xenoids. And with the space-time turbulence, we can't transform it, right?
We can definitely reclaim it. I even proposed a plan to Aglaia. If we can't go home, well, that plan can build you a new spring bay.
A plan? What did you propose to Aglaia?
Planet Noah could be transformed, yes, but it would require a great sacrifice, and Miss Aglaia has not yet agreed.
What would she be agreeing to? The new Project Ark? A space migration plan?
evade Lana's surveillance with minimal resource expenditure. Not bad. Keep it up.
Hipper, you and the Hope Fleet aren't actually setting traps to catch people again. Are you?
What's wrong?
Isn't that Nanto? What is he doing here? And now that you and Aster are here, can I still slip away?
I don't know. I just received General Veronika's orders and rushed over.
I came here because the General's orders said the Hope Fleet's secret operation might require Ravenport's ships.
A secret operation? They're not really planning to capture me, right?
Don't worry. These are the General's direct orders. They're different from the previous pirate clearing missions. And if Nanto is here, that means General Veronika considers him one of her own.
One of us? How is he any sort of one of us? Maybe he's one of you? There's no way I'd include myself in that.
I'm curious. What brings you here?
I came because I got a message on the Wednesday crew internal line. Only our people are supposed to use it? The captain was supposed to come herself, but as her mother, as her guardian, and as the first mate of the Wednesday crew, I'm here in her stead.
We're probably gathered now for Anchor Infinity's new project arc. Huh.
I've seen the plan. No one's even breaking a sweat. And Anchor Infinity thinks it's brilliant? Please. It's still all coming from Aura Zero mining.
Rapha seems eager to get this plan rolling. It's probably got something to do with a diplomatic representative, too.
Everyone's here.
Oh, you're finally back! I was worried sick when you were captured. I didn't know whether to break you out or go live and put on a show!
I'm grateful for all your hard work, Linsis.
Welcome back. I'm just glad you're safe.
Speak of the devil, diplomatic representative. Were it not for your recent actions, I'm afraid we would not be in our current situation.
All thanks to General Veronika. Without Hope Fleet approval, I wouldn't have gotten out so easily.
I got my hands on some of that booze you told me about from Odin, and the very next day, the Black Moon Gang scored a resource jackpot.
That's why they say the Gungnir never misses, right?
Thanks to these great supplies, my brother, Agnes, and the other Black Moon Gang members are gonna have no trouble at all getting through the space-time turbulence and rescuing missing folks. Agnes always says if someone helps me out, I've gotta say thanks. You not only bought me booze, but really aided the Black Moon Gang. So, thank you.
It's no problem. But next time you get supplies, don't order 20 of the same drink again. Each customer only gets one complimentary item.
But Linsis told me that if there's something free, you should definitely...
So it's Miss Linsis. No wonder.
What are you two chatting about?
Oh, you're here too? This is Nanto. He made sure my brother and I shared the same cell. We're buddies.
Ah, diplomatic representative, you're here. I was just asking Captain Helene about the dynamics of space-time turbulence. The pirates are, shall we say, more familiar with it than Anchor Infinity and the Hope Fleet.
Oh, that's right. Mr. Nanto also taught me and my brother a bunch of ways to avoid getting caught. Like using specific frequency bands to avoid being monitored, or exploiting turbulence to keep Lana from controlling the cruiser. Stuff like that.
You two seem pretty familiar with one another. You're friends?
Yeah, he's helped me out a few times, and we've met several times. By my brother's standards, I'd say he's a friend.
Helene, listen, Nanto isn't someone to be taken lightly.
Miss Helene is highly intelligent. She doesn't concern herself with a person's past or present, only with practical problem solving. The information I provide is both truthful and useful. That's what matters most. Isn't that right, diplomatic representative?
Mm-hmm. Genuine info's hard to find. Only a friend would share something so precious.
I can't believe you two actually speak the same language.
Wait, even Veronica is here?
It seems everyone has arrived.
General Veronica.
At ease. I appreciate everyone making it here while staying under Lana's radar. I promise your efforts will not be in vain.
Aren't you the damn commander of the Hope Fleet? The one who threw me in Brighton prison? The top of the bounty list.
Hello, Captain Helene. I've heard quite a lot about your research into space-time turbulence, so I asked Nanto to bring you here to assist me.
Did you have Nanto slip those explosives to my brother so we could break out?
To be honest, that was Nanto's decision alone. While I was in charge of the prison, however, I did tell the guards to take it easy on you. Ease your suffering a bit.
Yeah. Prison food's not bad. And the folks were real nice and talented. Other than there not being dolls and them not letting me use the dream house, there's not much wrong with it. Well, in that case, you don't seem too morally compromised. And you're pretty strong. You might just be worthy of respect.
You call me a liar every day, but suddenly she's the one worthy of respect?
I really can't tell if you're being serious. You know I'm not good at all this, and I feel like you're being confusing on purpose. To bully me or something.
Those are just stupid jokes. It's not my fault you can't tell what's serious and what isn't. When I saw Nanto arrive, I was already thinking about getting out of here. Hipper convinced me to stay. Now that General Veronika's here, it's way too late.
First Mate Linsis, don't lose heart and don't be scared. I asked Nanto to contact you and Helene because we need your help.
Nanto? How could he have contacted us? You must be mistaken, or did you take over Odin's Tavern?
The underground pirate radio station at Odin's Tavern is an independent, encrypted server. Even if Anchor Infinity controls Lana, they can't control the station. Wednesday Crew, the one you're with, was originally the Icarus Legion, sponsored by Apex. I'm Asurada's foster child, and after his death, I secretly inherited the radio station.
Bullshit! You really expect me to believe that?
Linsis, I know this is hard for you to believe, but it's true. Just ask the diplomatic representative.
Laurent was originally tasked by Nanto to rescue Granny Lola, but he got a little too ambitious. A rescue mission became murder, inciting the pirates against the fleet.
I'm still not convinced.
You believe in what Granny Lola's foster father, Old Hans, said, right? He's not dead. He's been interned in Brighton prison this whole time.
He's right. Back then, the Hope Fleet and Apex worked together to save his life. Then they changed his identity and hid him in prison.
If he's still alive...
I understand that processing this can take time. Linsis, take however long you need. If you still refuse to trust Nanto, then you'll have to trust me instead. We are here to overthrow Anchor Infinity. If you wish to be a part of that plan, remain here. If you really object to the stance Nanto and I have taken, you can leave now. I promise you won't be hassled by anyone, and if the plan fails, you won't be held responsible.
You think you can overthrow Anchor Infinity without me? I can't back down after everything I've sunk into this. Besides, without a savvy merchant on your side, you won't stand a chance.
You're indispensable for our plans. That's why I specifically told Nanto that you must be the one to represent Wednesday crew.
What's the plan? Spill it.
It seems everyone's in agreement, so I may now discuss Project Anchor in detail, along with each of your responsibilities within it. As you know, Anchor Infinity relies on Lana for comprehensive surveillance of all settlements not affected by space-time turbulence. Our plan is to surround and seize the Brighton zone on negotiation day.
The fleet systems all depend on Lana. We won't be able to control the spaceships approaching the Brighton zone without space-time turbulence blocking her, of which Brighton has the least.
So, our fleet will assemble on the outskirts of Brighton Prison, the only area of space-time turbulence in the Brighton zone. There's our cover.
But even if we reach the prison perimeter, we'll still have to breach a ton of security. How are we supposed to do that?
An extra-large space rift. I quietly set up its activation anchors along Anchor Infinity's approved route in the last long-range exploration. The outermost anchor covers the wood belt.
The wood belt is both covered by overlapping space-time turbulence and spacious enough to accommodate our ships. If we've arranged our anchor points properly, travel to the Brighton zone should be simple.
After the spaceship exits the turbulence, Lana's system takeover leaves a time window just long enough to open the space rift. If done correctly, the ship can fold through the space-time turbulence and emerge directly in the prison turbulence zone.
Opening an extra-large space rift would consume an enormous amount of zeronium. The previous commander's Project Astralis failed due to excessive energy usage, you know.
They developed this space rift tech a long while ago, but it threatened to upend Anchor's control of the Hope Fleet. That's why they decided to terminate Project Astralis early. I've been steadily acquiring sections of Ore Zero. That, plus the efficiency of the new tech, will ensure that we reach the prison's turbulence zone.
I suspected there was a big buyer for years now, but they were too slippery to track. Turns out, it was you. I thought you were just Anchor Infinity's dog, but you've got some tricks up your sleeve, huh?
Apologies, General. She's blunt. It was not her intention to offend.
Worry not. I find First Mate Linsis quite amusing. Speaking of which, I wanted to ask you. The Ore Zero I've acquired varies wildly in quality. I need you to procure a batch of high-grade ore, as well as a team of smelters.
That can be negotiated. You've got the right person.
Also, I heard that Granny Lola left her inheritance to you, including a set of Nova Path maps. And as for the intricacies of space-time turbulences, your pirates know far more than the fleet. To finalize the plan, I need you and Helene to chart 2 more routes. One as a backup, and another for safe retreat in case something goes awry.
Leave it to me. If you want to tempt fate, I can plot an extra route that skirts the space-time turbulence. Damn, I'll even run through its center. No one will even get close to catching you.
One last thing I must ask of you, Captain Helene. Your Black Moon crew is quite adept at navigating the turbulence. If anything goes wrong, we may need you to pilot the spaceship and relay messages.
That shouldn't be too big an issue. I'll need to talk with Agnes before I can tell you for sure.
Next is preparing the spaceships and personnel. Hipper, Aster, you haven't forgotten what we discussed at the Academy, have you?
Of course not. For the future of the Kylians, to explore the stars.
For hope and...
All right. No need to swear an oath. Hipper, your decision to stay at Ore Zero last time was the right one. Ore Zero supplies 45% of the Brighton zone's zeronium. On my command, you'll cut off the zirconium supply to the Brighton zone. This will significantly weaken Lana and facilitate our operations in Brighton.
Of course.
Aster, has Mr. Corlin read my letter?
Father said you have his full support. We're currently retrofitting 20 ships with the second-hand weapons and navigation systems you acquired. And we've confirmed they aren't under Lana's control.
Please thank him for me. His contributions will surely be rewarded. Once the ship modifications are complete, Hipper, you'll be responsible for contacting the others involved in the battle for Hope.
Rest assured, General. No one in the battle for Hope will betray you or their values.
What's this Battle for Hope exactly?
Under a pseudonym, the General sponsors Nova Aerospace Academy's outstanding students each year. After graduating, they join Battle for Hope, an officer organization loyal to only the General and exploration.
You and Aster. You're both members?
Of course.
Those are the peripheral tasks. Hipper, you're well acquainted with Aster and Lynsis, so I'll leave the planning and execution to you. Nanto, diplomatic representative, let's discuss the rest in private. Before we finalize the remaining plans, diplomatic representative, I need to know one thing. Can you handle all this?
What do you mean by that?
The success of Lynsis and Hipper's tasks is dependent on seizing Lana on negotiation day. What they're discussing out there is just helping us get leverage over Lana, and giving us a hand to make sure everything wraps up smoothly. If we fail, everyone who joined Project Anchor because of me will inevitably crash and burn. Whoever controls Lana will not allow anyone to leave the Brighton zone unscathed, and they'll erase the Hope Fleet from Kylo's history.
So, you need me to prove my capabilities?
Don't forget, the only reason I contacted you is that you actually escaped. How well can you really deceive Lana? And how much time will that buy for my plans? A 3-hour gap. I admit the security risk was worth it. As you said, the diplomatic representative was the missing piece Project Anchor needed.
A decade or so I was undercover with Anchor Infinity. Wasn't it all for this moment? This is our one chance. If we just ignore this, then we've been sacrificing ourselves for nothing. The risks are negligible considering what the diplomatic representative is bringing to this project. The resources, the success.
You finally stand where I once stood.
You mean?
2 years ago, I took a substantial risk inviting you to collaborate on Project Anchor.
Risk. You were more than confident back then, General. You laid out 10 years of pirate clearing data just to force me to admit that I'd been paying lip service to Rapha and protecting Wednesday crew.
The prison is packed to the brim, but the pirates are like a hydra. The more you cut off, the more grow in their stead. Wednesday crew always manages to survive, and the homecomers eliminated always match Lana's calculations. However, these only confirmed my suspicion that someone in Anchor Infinity was protecting the homecomers. What convinced me that this protector was you went back far longer.
What joke are you trying to pull, General?
Are you nervous?
What?
It's a press conference. The last time you attended one with Nanto, it ended less than pleasantly, shall we say.
Calling it less than pleasant is a bit mild, don't you think? It was clearly arranged by Nanto on Rapha's orders, but people assume it's my mistake. But this time, I'm not letting anyone pull my strings.
It sounds like you've prepared a splendid speech. You will surely introduce Ida beautifully, as it deserves.
Do you really like Ida?
I've never lived on Ida. My memories of it pull from fiction. Even the homecomers most eager to find Ida are merely searching for a fantasy of it. Ida is, well, at best, a vague symbol of nostalgia.
Just what are you trying to say?
As someone who was really there, the Ida you speak of is precisely the Ida the Kylians envision. And now, I need an Ida that will charm and captivate all those Kylians. One that can shake their trust in Anchor Infinity.
Are you asking me to lie?
Is Ida really that bad?
Ida's not perfect. There's no such thing, after all. And yet you expect the Kylian people to envision it that way. But what happens when they really return to Ida?
But deep down, compared to the resource-scarce, astral hive-infested Kylo, Ida is a paradise, isn't it?
That's fair.
Then just talk about its better parts. That should be simple enough. You don't have to lie, just selectively tell the truth.
What do you think that would accomplish?
I think the worst outcome of this negotiation would be having to take over a Kylo plunged into chaos after Anchor Infinity's fall. I can force Anchor Infinity's executives to sign whatever contracts I want, use Lana to control every spaceship and machine. But I can't control the minds of the populace. There are far too many unknowns in the new Project Ark. I can't allow the Kylian people to pin their hopes on planet Noah. If this all goes awry, I can only assume the Order's destruction. With that as our alternative, well, I'd rather all Kylians be homecomers.
Is this the only way?
Would you really rather watch Kylo descend into chaos than slightly compromise your conscience? Would you really do that to the Kylians?
I certainly don't want that, and neither would Hykros.
If I were in your position, I wouldn't strain my conscience over something so minor. It's the rational choice that best serves public interest. But if you were in my shoes, I'm afraid your conscience would have killed you far more efficiently than any assassin.
Anchor Infinities tried to assassinate you?
Don't take that tone with me. You make it sound like I'm some weakling who needs your protection. I actively chose to leave my family's sanctuary. It was only by my own prowess and hard-fought competition that I won command of the fleet destined to drown in the universe.
Drown? That's a far cry from the Hope Fleet's legendary reputation, isn't it?
I've revitalized the Hope Fleet once ravaged by Anchor Infinity. I was born to be its commander. Only I can complete Project Astralis, fulfilling the hopes of so many. No one, not even Anchor Infinity, can stand in my way.
That's some terrifying strength you've got.
I appreciate the compliment. Now it's your turn to take the stage, Ida Visitor.
Esteemed diplomatic representative, what is your primary concern in these negotiations?
Kylo and Ida have had no contact for half a century. We need to resume all economic, cultural, and personnel exchanges. But before all that, we need to clarify the relationship between Kylo and Ida. 50 years ago, Kylo was a continent of Ida, governed by the Norns Federation. And now, in the fallout of the disaster, Ida is led by Hykros scientists, while Kylo is managed by Anchor Infinity.
That's true. Things have certainly changed. We need to redefine our relationship.
Do we really? Despite my well-trodden spaceship crash and wrongful imprisonment, I can't help but feel quite a bit fortunate. Because during that whole situation, I met so many Kylians who spoke the same language as me, who shared so many of my perspectives. I believe that there are more similarities than differences between the Idans and Kylians. We all have our goals and grievances, right? Aren't we all just survivors of the exact same disaster? We're all honoring our dead, all struggling to persevere, and all, ultimately, restoring the order we lost long ago.
But the Kylians could have avoided that disaster. If it weren't for that Tower of Fantasy, there wouldn't...
There's no use fumbling for what-ifs. The fact is, both Kylians and Idans are survivors. I can't just continue to highlight our differences when we're so fundamentally united.
This is only our first negotiation. 50 years is a long time, after all. We have a myriad of issues to discuss, so it's best to start slowly. But most importantly here is the relationship between Kylo and Ida. What kind of interactions will we have in the future? And how will those shape our communication?
Relationships are mutual. If the Kylians are willing to maintain a friendly and open attitude, so too are the Idans.
Your understanding is appreciated.
Thank you both for your responses. I hope today's negotiations will prove fruitful.
Diplomatic representative of Hykros. Welcome to Anchor Infinity HQ. I apologize, on all our behalf, for my previous abrupt departure, and of course, for our inadequate hospitality.
You're Anchor Infinity's leader, as well as the overseer of so many Kylians. I understand that's quite the responsibility, Mr. Rapha.
These talks are of utmost importance, and Anchor Infinity values your time. However, we find no reason for the Hope Fleet, General Veronica, to participate, especially given her health. General, you should leave. Rest. Recover.
There's no need for your concern, Mr. Rapha. I'm perfectly fine. As for my presence here, it is at the invitation of the diplomatic representative.
General Veronica has been nothing but polite and respectful during my time here. I have faith her Hope Fleet will serve as a fair mediator for the discussions.
Authorization transfer at Anchor Infinity HQ has been completed. Void Piercer has assumed control.
I have come to Kylo on Hykros' behalf. On one hand, I wish to discuss our continued friendship. But on the other, there are some concerns I need to address.
No need for subtlety. I know very well that Hykros wishes to build a Tower of Fantasy in Kylo. But this is Kylo. We've long since burned our bridges with Ida. You've been in Kylo long enough, Representative, to know that we've separated like this because of that explosion. To us, Omnium represents only disaster and death. None of our Kylians were spared from that chaos. Not those on the ground, nor those in the station.
Void Piercer has successfully assumed control of the Brighton public sector.
When I first arrived in Kylo, I really believed that. The Kylians, fearing Omnium, were forced to rapidly develop Ore-Zero and adapt to using Zeronium. Shirley previously used the Space Rift to bring a piece of Ore-Zero back to Hykros. Upon their examination, they found that Omnium and Zeronium are one and the same. My spaceship can operate just as well on Zeronium. Isn't that proof enough, Mr. Rapha? Don't try to deny it.
Shirley. Oh, speaking of Shirley, she's quite a bit tougher than General Veronica. Helix Bio has made all sorts of attempts to take her machinery apart.
You dismantled Shirley?
Don't be angry, Representative. This is all for her treatment. Her strong reactions to the turbulence have been suspected to be a precursor to Starstone Syndrome. However, your technology far surpasses Helix Bio's capabilities. What an amazing combination of mind and machine she is. In the end, they had no choice but to settle for the brain interface. Miss Shirley is a distinguished guest all the way from Hykros. We need to do everything we can to heal her, yes? You wouldn't want your assistant to die in Kylo, would you?
If anything happens to Shirley, I won't forgive you. Understand?
Rest assured, Representative. Shirley won't be harmed. Helix Bio's healing methods are extremely advanced. Even my health depends on them. Lana's latest model is developed by Helix Bio Inc. Their unique biotechnologies have made her body almost indistinguishable from that of a human.
Keep talking. We need just a little more time. It's only the droid access left now.
Would you say you're a fan of Lana? Negotiations just began, and Shirley is still in Helix Bio's hands. This isn't what we agreed on.
Per the plan, if Rapha refuses to hand over Lana's root access peacefully, we'll have to crack down. We need to secure a clean resolution within 3 hours, remember? This is exactly in line with our plan.
How can you say that? I've only just started probing into his relationship with Lana.
Don't you hear yourself? Lana is to Rapha what Shirley is to you. And Shirley is above all else to you. You wouldn't sacrifice her for anything. That renders the negotiations completely pointless. Rapha would never willingly hand over Lana's server key. It seems Rapha and I know you better than you know yourself. Per the plan, if the negotiations fail, we should save as much time as possible. My method is the most time efficient. 3 hours and 5 minutes gone. And counting. I'm certain that counterattacks are well underway. How much longer do you insist upon wasting our time?
Don't worry. I've already made sure Shirley's safe. What Rapha said earlier was just to get under your skin. He was trying to steer the negotiation his way.
General Veronica, although this Rapha is a machine puppet, it isn't necessarily being remotely piloted. I believe it's very likely Rapha himself.
You knew about the puppeteering?
No, I didn't know. But there have always been these subtle, unnatural things about Rapha. Instinctually, something was off about him, but I just couldn't decipher what. For instance, there have been 4 attempts on his life. Though the assassins were direct and he sustained life-threatening injuries on 2 occasions, he always manages to recover within a week.
So he's just a brain in a machine?
He seeks to obtain Shirley's secrets about the Angel of Clemency, likely as a guide to further merging human consciousness with machinery.
Is his consciousness intact? Did we just destroy Lana's key with those bullets? And by the way, did you just find something?
It's the chip from that puppet. It was buried in his head. With how specialized its design is, I doubt ordinary terminals can read it.
The chip is merely a vessel for his consciousness. Lana has ensured his true data source has escaped to an alternate location. That's where Lana's server must be hidden.
Minister Nanto, how many people heard those gunshots just now?
I had Droid Tom submit a fault report. Anyone who heard the gunshot will assume it was just a circuit failure.
Well handled. The press conference will proceed as scheduled in 3 hours, with both the diplomatic representative and I in attendance. As planned, I'm counting on you to handle everything outside this meeting room until then.
I'll ensure the plan is executed smoothly. Even if a few reckless people or troops try to interfere, it won't amount to anything. Diplomatic representative, the Brighton zone is currently under Void Piercer's control. Have you found any leads on Bagus and Shirley?
Nem's got a lot on her plate right now. Why not take this opportunity to play to your strengths and interrogate Helix Bio's executives?
Thank you for the suggestion. I expect to hear of your successes at the press conference.
Let's go.
There. He should have escaped that way.